I'm just going to do a quick thing on my iPad here to show you what you need to do to get the blog set up. So I'm not quite sure where you got that Muse thing from, but what you're going to do is go to edublogs.org. There are other ways to get there from the course blog, but this is going to be the easiest. Go to edublogs.org and click on this sign up or get a free blog. Either one will work. I'm not going to walk you through the whole process because I already have a blog set up with this email, and it'll give me if I try to set up a new account with this same email, it won't let me do it. So you get this screen here. So you just fill in a username. What most students use is their Access BCC name. It needs to be something unique to the system that isn't in there already. You may have to fiddle around with it a little bit to get a unique one. Password, you want to remember to write that down. Use something that one of your standard passwords, or as I said, write it down. You're a student. Email is optional, but I suggest you put it in because that will let you recover a password if you forget it, and you need the username and password to sign into your blog. You click I want site. Site title is the name at the top for the course blog. It's writing about social media. I suggest you use something different. College writing is what I'd suggest, but you can use anything like that. If you come up with something more imaginative, creative later down the road, you can always change that. The site URL automatically is going to pick up that username, and we'll put it in the URL. Agree to terms of service. Don't check I don't think you want tips by email. I'm not a robot. I'll give you a CAPTCHA. I give you one of those, all the pictures, and you have to check what has a fire hydrant in it or whatever. And then register account will set the blog up for you. Once the blog gets set up, it'll bring you to the dashboard. So let me get into the course blog. So I'm going to log in. Okay, so this is what the dashboard looks like. You can play around if you want with the appearance of the blog. There are a number of different themes that you can use. You can see all these. You can personalize it by uploading your own photographs, many of these themes. If you just want to go with what the default theme, which is kind of boring, you can do that. Again, that can be changed anytime along the semester. The other thing I encourage students to do is this join a class. In the student version here, it'll say, I think it'll say join a class, something like that. You click on it and it opens up a search bar. You're going to type in the search bar BCC social media, just like it shows up on the URL without any spaces, and then click send request to join. What that will, and once I get a chance to approve that, what that'll do is give you where it says my class here on the dashboard, on the left, it will say view class blog, and that will bring you from your blog to the course blog here. In terms of getting started with postings, there is information on how to do a post on the blog. I'll show you in a minute, but basically you're just going to go plus new post, and you get a screen like that. Now there are two options for the editor. This is not the one that yours will look like. Yours is what when you initially set up the blog. They'll give you this block editor. Let me show you what that looks like. So Oops, let me save it. Then you get this editor that looks like this. It's much more sort of stripped down. I don't like this one because I have a hard time finding things. The other one is done like a Microsoft Word. I'm much more comfortable with that. You could, if you want to switch, if you click here on this W, it'll open up this here. So it was a setting, writing. I'm just going to switch back to the classic editor, back where I'm comfortable. Okay, so just do a new post. Click here. If you're doing something long, I would suggest doing it in Microsoft Word or Google Docs. This site is fairly stable, but it is possible you might lose an internet connection or something, and your work might be not saved. There is some auto-saving that happens here, but it's not character by character the way it is in Google Docs or Word 365. So you can finish a post in a word processor and then copy it in. A title goes up here where it says add title, and in the big box here you just paste. If you're doing something short and informal, you might want to just do it here on the blog. You have the option to save a draft, which will save it without publishing it, so that you can access it by, on the left here, clicking all posts will give you the all the posts, both the published ones and the draft versions of one. Once you're ready to publish something so that it shows up in the blog so I can see it, you click this orange publish button and then it'll show up. If you could get started with doing some of the assignments, do the best you can to get things posted, but if you can't, if you could bring assignments, electronic versions of things you've done to class on Tuesday, I'll go through a little bit of this more and we can get those posted. After you get the blog set up, please send me the URL, which will be just through .org when you're on your blog. So the domain and the .edublogs.org, I could figure out that as long as I get this first part here. Once I get that, I will add your name to if you see here on visit site. So this is your class down here, and I'll add your name here to the list. So that's how I'll be able to access your work. If you don't understand any of the assignments, or an assignment and you want to see some sample assignments, feel free to browse around in any of these classes to find a student that seems to have done a pretty good job. You can get some ideas for how to handle assignments by reading other people's blogs. Okay, I hope that helps. Please stay in touch over email. If we need to, we can Zoom sometime between now and class. I'd like to get you up and running, though, as soon as possible. So hopefully you can get the blog set up sometime today. All right, I'll see you Tuesday if I don't see you on Zoom before then.